Thank you, readers. Now you know why we have 3 liturgists this morning. So this is the moment for you to share your poetry. So just come up one at a time. I think Joe Aprile thinks he'd like to be last. So if anybody else would like to be last, you could duke it out with Joe. Arm wrestling, Theo suggests. So please come up. The microphone is here and share.
Well, I'd like to share 2 poems. One is by Mary Oliver, and it's coming from the little, did I say it wrong? No, Kathleen Norris, sorry. I like the other poet well too. But it's coming from the little girls in church, but I'm not going to read that poem. This poem references Hildegard of Bingen, which is one of my favorite saints. It's called A Note on Astrophysics. Learned men of the 20th century, armed with large finite numbers and radio telescopes, as big as football fields, to measure the pulse of light. From stars beyond the range of human vision, conclude that this world we all call nature was once inside such a star. Heisenberg shrugs and says, I'm not sure what an electron is, but it's something like a cloud of possibilities. Hildegard saw it plain in a monastery at Rupertsberg, midway through her life in 1140 or so. Eve as a cloud, leaf green shining, containing stars. And this is from a very dear friend of mine. She has passed away at this point, but her name was Lillian Snow, and I taught with her at Seattle Pacific. She taught community health, and she had moved from Mercer Island to another residence downtown Skyline, which is a tall residence. It's called Spring Cleaning. Last week, the chickadees were changing their beds, throwing last year's twigs and fuzz out the door. Our 3rd son's birdhouse, never more clean. Pigeons scratched the leavings under the hollies, ate leftover sunflower hulls for lunch. Spring business with the crows washing their snacks and their feet in the bird bath. Dating invitations echoing from our yard and the next. Robins pulling out worms in the new grass. A memory, yet on our city block, bins are leafing out crocus from last year's bulbs. If we poke our fingers into the soil, we might feel the tulips beginning to sprout. The rescued hydrangea is budding from its brown appearance of death, hinting renewal from its green pot. Rain has washed muddy footprints away, and spirits lift, too, with the turning of spring.
That's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you.
Good morning. So this morning I woke up and I'm like, I think this needs to be read. It's by John O'Donoghue, an Irish poet, theologian, who was born in 1956 and passed this earth in 2008. And this particular poem I found, or it found me, as I was tending to the end of my mother's life, and I was exhausted. And I think right now in the world, there's exhaustion. And so this is his balm for one who is exhausted. When the rhythm of the heart becomes hectic, time takes on the strain until it breaks. Then all the unattended stress falls in on the mind like an endless, increasing weight. The light in the mind becomes dim. Things you could take in stride before now become laborsome events of will. Weariness invades your spirit. Gravity begins falling inside you, dragging down every bone. The tide you never valued has gone out, and you are marooned on unsure ground. Something within you has closed down, and you cannot push yourself back to life. You have been forced to enter empty time. The desire that drove you has relinquished. There is nothing else to do now but rest and patiently learn to receive the self you have forsaken for the race of days. At first, your thinking will darken, and sadness will take over like listless weather. The flow of unwept tears will frighten you. You have traveled too fast over false ground. Now your soul has come to take you back. Take refuge in your senses. Open up to the small miracles you rushed through. Become inclined to watch the way of rain when it falls slow and free. Imitate the habit of twilight, taking time to open the well of color that fostered the brightness of day. Draw alongside the silence of stone until its calmness can claim you. Be excessively gentle with yourself. Stay clear of those vexed in spirit. Learn to linger around someone of ease who feels they have all the time in the world. Gradually, you will return to yourself, having learned a new respect for your heart and the joy that dwells far within slow time.
Thank you all for creating this opportunity. I have too many poems in my phone. That's my poem.
Oh, that's a good title.
This one is called The Cry of the Mustard Seed by Andrew Collins. I have lived full days of unexpected goodness, tears suddenly loosed as a balm to heartache, a question that breaks open new depths of my story, attuning to the spirit in my breath and body, discovering a new song, watching a new sunset, reading a poem I'll never forget, catching the wave of the day. Yes, you never know what grace has in store. So why, oh why, God, do I go into each day expecting so damn little? Ready to tune out, to get by, advertisement, to merely manage my suffering and my joy, keeping it all at arm's length, dulled and safe, deadened inside. Oh, you of little faith, yes, that's me, at my best, like in the writing of this poem, I grieve and long for more. So Jesus, Father, Spirit, whoever the hell is listening, could you please come and grow my mustard seed?
Whoever put the stand here, I really like it. So, I'm going to give a little context to this poem written by my dad. I continue to bring out these poems, mostly during this time, because he wrote so many. Some are a little odd, and I'm not sure this is earthy, but it could be, I guess. I'll give you a little background to the terminology I'm going to use. So you've heard the term, when pigs fly, when the cows come home, when hell freezes over. So in the mid-19th century, it was popularized by F. Scott Fitzgerald, when hell freezes over. So about midlife, 1985, my dad wrote this poem. Hell froze over today. The cows came home. All that was to be when hell freezes over happened. 1,000 books were finished. Garages were cleaned out. Debts were paid off. Apologies and reconciliation. Forgivings and forgettings. Endings and beginnings. And endings again. The dreaded weight of what will be one day was lifted. All was done and forgotten because hell froze over today and the cows came home.
Well, I didn't get the memo, but I think I've told you before that I have a spiritual practice that includes learning poems of praise for God and earth and gratitude and spirit. And I memorize them. And I'm going to occur to me that I will say the one I first learned by Gerard Manley Hopkins. And if you've never read his poetry, he is the master of the English language and praising God. So, here's this poem. Glory be to God for dappled things, for skies of coupled color as a brinded cow, for rose moles all in stipple upon trout that swim, landscape plotted and pieced, fold, fallow, and plow, and all trades, their gear and tackle and trim. All things counter, original, spare, strange. Whatever is fickle and freckled, who knows how, with swift, slow, sweet, sour, a dazzle dim, he fathers forth, whose beauty is past change. Praise him.
Good morning again. Good morning. I have just a little story, but it's about the earth and gardening. And it ends with a little poem. Oh, it's about 2 minutes, just for those who, you know. Okay, and this is why I'm sorry Net's not here. I hope you're watching it. About 3 years ago, when I was picking up Net to drive to church, she showed me her flowering black bamboo. She explained that the entire worldwide species flowers at exactly the same time, and then they all die. I did not know this, and I will admit I did not believe her. I could see hers, though, and Joe's. But ours at home was green and lush still, until a few months later. We have a large clump of black bamboo, which we've divided and shared with families and friends throughout the Northwest, so these clumps are all around. All 4 of the related clumps bloomed at the same time and died. Wow. So the mother plant of that bamboo spread. And it's not just from Joe's to our house, it's all over the world. And this is true. Bamboo spends its entire life, decades, sometimes over a century, growing without any sign of flowering. Then, in a single synchronized event, the entire species around the world will suddenly bloom. Wow. All at once, no exceptions. After the flowers appear, the bamboo uses every remaining resource to produce the seeds. Wow. Then it dies. All the groves around the world gone. And this is happening right now. I forgot to say, it started in 2023, and it goes for about 4 or 5 years, so to 2028, this is happening, including in Japan. They're losing forests and forests and forests of bamboo. Wow. The flowering cycle for black bamboo is typically very long, often ranging from 60 to 120 years. Wow. In fact, this is interesting for you history buffs, the last occurrence for black bamboo to flower and nothing was in 1908. Wow. Which makes what we are witnessing a bit special, according to the author I was quoting here. Special is a funny word. This started in 23 and expected to end in 28. New bamboo will eventually grow from those seeds, but it takes years, sometimes many years, for the forest to recover. Wow. Scientists still don't fully understand why the bamboo evolved this way. The leading theory is that mass flowering is a survival strategy, flooding the forest floor with seeds, which overwhelms predators. There's so many seeds, ensuring that at least some survive to germinate. In Japanese culture, bamboo has long symbolized resilience and flexibility, qualities it genuinely has. But this blooming event suggests something else too, that even the most enduring things move in cycles we can't always see. Sounded like a beautiful Japanese thought. The Japanese word mono no aware describes a gentle melancholy at the transience of things, an awareness that beauty is partly made beautiful by the fact that it doesn't last. Watching a grove of bamboo die in full bloom feels like that, strange and sad and somehow right. So the last time this happened was 120 years ago. Nobody alive today witnessed it, and in another 120 years, the people who see it now will be gone too. So, I want to see some dying bamboo. You still have some, Joe?
Oh, yeah.
Come on by our house too. Okay, now, this morning, Joe said, what are you looking for there on the computer? And I said, I'm looking for a poem about dying bamboo. And I was not having success. I found some lovely bamboo poems, but anyway, about 3 minutes later, Joe said, I have one. And I thought he'd looked up, found one, but no, he'd written it. And it's short. It's called Even the Bamboo Sings. The earth sings in ways we cannot fathom. The seas instruct us on the nature of rhythm as tides caress the shoreline. The sun shepherds its planets across the limitless sky with infinite precision. Black bamboo has its ritual of dying on a global scale. The earth sings in ways we cannot fathom.
Is it Joe's turn?
No, it's this Joe's turn.
Is this Joe's turn?
Or lost you, I guess, I don't know. This is completely impromptu. But I had to after you talk about our bamboo. We actually, 2 years after our dying started, we have one new stock that's coming up.
Oh, that's great.
So I don't, because it's not supposed to do that, it's supposed to only grow from the seed. So who knows what the full story is. Past week I have been skiing, which is one of the loves of my life, because being in the mountains connects me with Mother Earth and God. And I learned this song from a record my dad brought home in 1959. And I may have sung it here once before, I'm not sure, but I sing this almost every day that I'm in the mountains. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. In this white world that reaches the sky, I found a future for me. Just standing there on a high mountainside, I'm a ruler of all I can see. The snow is my lover, the sun is her kiss. The wind sings a love song to me. With the wind and the sun and a vast snowy run, just like an eagle I'm free. For my skis are the things that give me my wings, make me an eagle and free. If you see a track in the powder white snow, etching a trail neath the sky, then look for a skier whose heart's in the clouds, and the song in his heart tells you why. He soars through the spaces, he flies through the trees, he races the wind rushing by. For here is a man with his spirit fulfilled, an eagle who must ever fly. For his skis are the things that give him his wings, make him an eagle and free. You next. That's probably the only one in this room that knows that song. It's a record of ski songs written by Bob Gibson in the late 50s.
Thank you all for this opportunity. The reason why I want to read last is whether I should read 100 poems or less. And thankfully for you, it's less. These are basically 4 short poems. First is called The Magic of Water. Just closer to me. Cold, clear water, Start again. Cold, clear water grabs our feet. We step carefully into the canoe, our faces dancing to the sunlight. Our bodies find their rhythm as the oars break the water's surface and propel us forward into the quiet of the lake. Birds indulge their rhapsodies on the shoreline, The air itself is vivid with possibilities. Luminous textures of light and shadow fall upon our hungry eyes. The magnificent green world fuels the substance of our imaginings. Cold, clear water grabs our feet. We step carefully from the canoe to embrace the feel of earth once again. And this next is called Norway Pass. We had the good fortune, this is to be camping. This was in, well, the poem will explain it, but we were camping right near Mount St. Helens, and the night was awful. It was just an awful camping night, camping experience in that regard, but the morning was absolutely breathtaking. It's called Norway Pass. Wind playfully tormented the rainfly on our tent. Hard ground rejected our affections, and sleep was left to entice, but not to satisfy. In the morning, the sky opened up. Mount St. Helens revealed itself to our startled vision, inexplicable force, now resting, inferno of fire and ash, usurper of once mighty forests, the fiery breath of God. 15 years between then and now, we succumbed to the enormity and power. We were enticed by the depth of the silence, thankful for our brief yet wondrous witness to the majesty of the planet. This one is called Winter Song, so take yourself one season back. Cold creeps up the bones to chill the blood and turn the ears to crimson, leaving hands immobile from its insidious embrace. Icy winds leave shimmering frost on everything it touches. Even the sky seems to shudder from its infection. Cold creeps up from night's deep shadow into the bosom of the earth under winter's somber rain. Night and cold and dark and woe, a reminder of the end of things, a hint of new beginnings. And this last one, you might recognize the place, Dungeness. This book is kind of cool because it comes with pictures. Dungeness. Driftwood told us many stories of storms and riotous oceans and bottomless pit of winter nights when the wind mourned loneliness and stars themselves shrunk from the tempest. Stones ground to a smooth polish from water's relentless perfection display their wondrous colors, surely the creations of celestial dreamers in their godlike sleep. Seals broke through the water's surface, their shimmering sleek heads danced and spoke of the playfulness of nature, with marvelous tales of undersea kingdoms where porpoises ruled and children found solace from nightmares. At the end of this finger of rock, the white spire of a lighthouse maintained its vigil and remembered icy and thunderous shipwrecks along the Dungeness.
Let's join together with a little singing to wrap up our poetry. Find the verses to Word that blesses, breaks, and shares us. And I'm going to play the tune. I think you'll be very familiar